Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Flash Fried.
Oh, I love this show.
Love it.
I fucking love this show.
Why do you love this show, Paul?
Because there's a part of me that misses the misery of being constantly informed by the news.
Right.
And so I get it on this show because I really don't care about the news outside
of the show. You really don't watch much. I know you somewhat keep up with like impeachment stuff.
I scroll through, like I have people I follow on Twitter who all read their little thing, but it's not like when you understand how into it I used to be.
Right.
Didn't
you go through like a thing and where it was like
a Mueller report phase.
You were basically told at one point in your life, like, for the sake of your mental health, stop reading so much news.
Yeah, the counselor that I saw for a number of years when I told him about how I fucking how I consumed the news, because he just asked me one day because it didn't come up because I didn't see it as a problem.
Right.
And then in the course of the conversation, like a year into my treatment, he's asking me about something in the news. And then just kind of on and offhand goes like, well, how much? What do you do? Like, how much do you just read the paper in the morning or whatever? And I was like, well, yeah, I do that. I read all the papers. It's like, what? I was like, well, not all of them, but I read the local paper and I read the New York Times and I read the Times Magazine on the days that comes, and then I spend some time in the midday on my break looking at the news sites, and then at night I come home and I watch the cablers.
Right.
Basically, your whole...
So you were a news junkie.
My whole life was watching the news.
Right.
Basically, it was all bookended by it.
And you were totally miserable.
And I was going out of my fucking mind.
Have you ever had a panic attack from a news you read or a story?
Not necessarily from one story, but I was having I still have panic attacks now and again. It's just something
almost everyone has a panic attack.
But I was having panic attacks all the fucking time. It was like the amalgamation of the news.
That does happen to people. There's people
was causing me to fucking lose my shit.
There's people that they hear about war and they start actually going oh my god, there's gonna be a war.
Yeah,
and
I could hear about the war, but it was the war plus the budget issues plus the environmental shit that I read plus the political shit that I read. All the whole fucking confluence of nothing but bad news being shoveled at you all day. Like, I'm already a negative person.
And that just amplifies it.
Right.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, the world around me is shit. So every worst suspicion you have is almost confirmed.
Oh, yeah.
Mind. Yeah.
And that's what the media's made to do. It's made to, desensitize us to the most fucking gruesome, brutal shit.
Well, because your mind has a filter that filters out bad shit for you, believe it or not. So then with the media, it's like, that's why it's like, you
can't escape it.
Well, if you could have a million positive comments, like, you're the most brilliant guy, then who are you going to remember? The guy went like, you know what? Actually, you're a fucking retard and you suck.
Of course.
You're like, what the hell did that guy say that for? People can't handle that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, actually, this is the pleb section, isn't it?
Yeah, this is...
Should we even try, really?
So this is the thing. We do this Flash Fried these days in case you're out of the loop, which this is like our third week doing this, so people should know by now. But we now do this as a pleb section and then a patron section. The patrons just get the whole show. You guys get the first half of the show. That's how it goes.
Yep.
Or as we like to describe it around here, the awful.
Yeah.
The awful.
Yeah.
As you say, awful or awful?
I've always said awful, but awful does at least draw attention to the fact that it's a different word.
Well, yeah. The leavings on the butcher's floor.
Yeah,
you guys get.
You guys get the chafe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys get the tripe and the lingua. You get all the tongue and all the organ meats and shit. While the fucking patrons are getting the fucking steak.
Well, I know we're gonna talk about it, but we're gonna see an awful movie.
I wanted to do more cooking with organ meat and shit. Honestly,
liver and onions, dude.
Have at it. Don't be fucking offended if you make it and I'm over here and I don't eat it.
Oh, I wouldn't. I mean, Paul, I know that you basically are like a 2-year-old when it comes to food.
Dude, yeah, when it comes to that type of shit,
right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't want to eat nothing spleen, man.
Is there a bone on it?
And if I'm eating some spleen, I want it to be mixed up enough to where I don't know.
Can you eat a T-bone, Paul?
You know what I did want to make
T-bone, huh?
You know what I did want to make for you, Paul,
Yeah.
and you just tell me if this is something you'd be interested in.
How can you not eat a T-bone?
Sorry, it's got a bone in it.
Okay.
Will you eat? I was confused. I was confused about this because I know you like biscuits and gravy, but I wasn't sure because it's mostly they use pork sausage in it.
None of this makes any sense. I'm just warning you because
right. But okay. I wanted to know.
So
if
I eat pork sausage in biscuits and gravy,
but not by itself.
Only that is literally the only time in my life that I will eat sausage.
Because I do make a pretty good biscuits and gravy, and I've been thinking about making it. So
yeah, Amelia makes a great biscuits and gravy too.
Awesome. So
She made it earlier this week, and yeah, she used that spicy pork sausage.
Cool.
So it's got a kick to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because it's incorporated into one of my favorite meals.
I'm gonna make mine for you. I was actually gonna make it for both you guys. One of these days, you both come in and have some biscuits and gravy.
Cool.
I'm
looking forward to it.
You could tell me if it holds a candle.
Dude, I had to fucking choke down your lasagna the other day, and I got choked
whatever.
down.
My lasagna was great. I got
Terrible
compliments. I got plenty of compliments on that.
Well, people
lasagna.
feel bad for you, TJ.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. I felt bad for you.
I see how it goes.
I should try and collect all my weird little dietary restrictions and shit. I should try and come up with a comprehensive
Make a little
list.
Bible of like, here's what I will eat. Here's what I will not eat.
I don't eat fish except for salmon.
Right.
That would have to be on there. Salmon is set aside as its own thing in my mind. Well, I guess tuna too.
Well, let me ask, there's a fucking place around here called GW Finn that they make all kinds of fish, but they make it, it's like so transcendently good that I wonder if you'd make an exception for it if I was to take you there.
I mean, I'll try it, but you can't, you gotta recognize that I might not be able to eat it.
That's very true.
But yeah, I'm always open to trying something I haven't tried in a while. Just the opportunity never really presents itself. I'm not going to do it to myself.
Yeah, you don't really like going to restaurants because you're kind of like humans.
Sometimes I can enjoy a restaurant visit, but restaurants for me, places where people are talking a lot and I can't hear what they're saying.
It
fucks with me somehow.
It fucks your brain. Like
it's like my brain is almost trying to simultaneously tune in to a million different conversations it can't hear as anything but murmurs. You know what I mean?
It's like they're all whispering about me.
But it's not even that I'm worried it's about me.
Yeah.
It's just that my natural instinct is to tune in when somebody's talking, I think. But it's just part of my anxiety.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
It makes my hands clammy to think about it.
So anyway, let's get into some news because that's what we're here for. So the first story, House marches toward Trump impeachment. He claims assault.
Assault?
Assault.
Did Nancy Pelosi whoop his ass in the fucking National Mall?
She's got bigger hands than him,
To the
that's
Republic,
for sure.
she does. For which it's... So we're doing the... what? Are we doing the Pledge of Allegiance?
Well, I can show you what this is all about.
Oh, dude. She's a mushmouth.
We gather today under the dome of this temple of democracy to exercise one of the most solemn powers that
Let's
this
just
body
analyze that. The dome of this temple of democracy.
The dome of the temple of democracy.
This has got to be the most ostentatious thing I've heard out of a politician in a long time.
The temple of democracy.
They usually are sniping at each other now. None of them really take the time to call, the House of Congress, the House of Representatives, the fucking dome of the temple of democracy, dude.
But it's not. And she even has it right next to her. To the Republic. To the Republic.
For which it stands, which the it in that sentence is not the flag. It's the dome of the temple of democracy, Scotty.
can take. The impeachment of the President of the United States. No member, regardless of party or politics, comes to Congress to impeach a president.
I always thought Pelosi... It's too bad Carrie Fisher's dead, because Carrie Fisher and Nancy... Like, if they ever wanted someone to play Nancy Pelosi, Carrie Fisher would have been the perfect person, because they both have that kind of mushy, kind of old lady voice. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's a shame
I agree.
But at least fucking Carrie Fisher went out fucking high as a kite.
And by the way, I'd like to say the statement she just made is total bullshit. She said nobody comes to Congress to impeach a president. How many new members of fucking House are there that ran on I'm going to impeach Trump as soon as I get in there?
Yeah,
I can name one, Ocasio-Cortez. She's sitting out there. So this idea that nobody came, no. That's exactly why they came.
Yeah, what's that woman from Michigan?
Rashida Tlaib.
Yeah, Tlaib. Yeah, she's
another one.
She said impeach the motherfucker. So yeah, she did.
There was a bunch of people. I mean, there's people in the fucking Democratic debates going on right now that are running on we need to impeach Trump.
Get rid of this piece of garbage.
I mean, come on.
First act as a member of Congress stood on this historic House floor before our beautiful American flag and raised our hands.
What's this insipid garbage?
Oath. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear.
She's a fucking mushmouth that I told you.
You know what? She really wants to be remembered by history as a fucking Jeffersonian figure. You know what I mean? And she's trying real hard to write a speech that they're going to quote down the line somewhere. And it just reeks of self-importance and bullshit and time wasting, and she doesn't know it.
Swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So help me God.
She having
For
yeah. She's having
years,
denture troubles.
Members have taken that sacred oath, which makes us custodians of
Can
the
you hear it?
Constitution.
Custodians.
But,
It's
very
like if your
sadly
teeth
now,
fell in the middle
our
of it.
founders' vision of a republic is under threat from actions from
Yeah.
Well, she wants Joe Biden
Dude,
as
her
president.
fucking dentures are coming out. America, wake the fuck up.
Get rid of this bitch.
Yeah, they want Uncle Joe and they want this bitch. Give me a fucking
The
break,
ancient have taken over our national processes.
What national?
The Republic promoted plans. It's like, Grandpa, just take them out. I can understand you better when they're out.
Yeah, dude.
What is this, man?
So yeah, Trump's mad or whatever. I don't know. I guess we can listen to more Pelosi. I don't feel like reading all this nonsense. I'll have more on Trump's reaction in a minute.
the White House. That is why today.
The White House. That is why I didn't put enough polydents in my dentures this morning. And now I'm talking like I have a mouthful of mashed peas.
It is with a heavy heart that I stand here before you to impeach the president of
The president. Let's impeach the president. So come on.
Marriage.
Day,
Sweet
Speaker of
marriage
the
is
House,
why
I
we are
second-
here today. Love. True love.
calmly and sadly.
That's the only thing
open
any
the
ever
debate.
quotes from that movie is that fucking marriage scene.
Of course.
Anyway, so they're impeaching.
What a coverage! What coverage we just did of this important news story. we
got more. We got more.
Goofed on this bitch's dentures for 5 minutes.
How can you not?
Listen though. Listen. We got more. We got more on the impeachment. That's not the only thing we're doing. I mean, look at the picture the mainstream press chooses for Giuliani, so we don't have to feel too bad about it.
Oh, man.
Let's just analyze his face. Okay, so what is
All right,
going on with his
Let's
face?
just go to this.
Bug-eyed. Oh, no, he's not really bug-eyed. No, his eyes are set in.
Oh,
He
my
has-
God.
he almost has no lips.
All right, I want everyone to try to make this face, and then let's turn our camera back on and see how close we each come. I'm going to give you guys a second to try to get every feature.
I got it. I don't think any of us hit it.
I don't think so.
I can't even do it, dude. I'm not part Nosferatu, dude.
Let's see. I shuddered even one. I wonder what there's
I'm
two
not
pictures
part
here.
Goblin. I don't know. I can't pull it off.
There's two fucking pictures here. I wonder if the second one is as
that-
hilarious.
Can we do it?
No, it's just an ad.
Yahoo Finance, the morning brief.
All right, so slowly but perceptibly, the Trump administration is moving towards a concrete defense in the president's Senate impeachment trial. Not that Donald Trump didn't pressure Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, but that he did and that there's nothing wrong with it.
Got it.
So they're not even going to dispute he done it. They're just going to be like, so
Well, they
what?
can't. They literally released a redacted memorandum from that admitted that he did. So
Yeah, then they have the press.
it's not even really in fucking dispute anymore whether or not he did it.
Did his press secretary just admit it accidentally too? At one of the things, he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, quid pro quo. So what? Oh, I mean, no, never mind. We didn't do that.
No, I mean,
I mean, no, just kidding.
kidding, joke. The latest indication on this direction comes from the president's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, who in a couple of press interviews has acknowledged his role in advising President Trump to arrange the firing of the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Mary Yovanovitch, because Rudy Giuliani believed she stood in the way of getting those investigations. If Trump wanted to focus on impeachment defense, that there was no quid pro quo and that he innocently asked for the investigations in order to fight corruption, then it would be genuinely crazy for his personal lawyer to reveal the specifics of how and what he communicated to the president. Giuliani's statements are terribly harmful to Trump's case, and he has now effectively waived attorney-client privilege so he could be called to testify. Of course, Giuliani could be just be crazy, a loose cannon making statements deeply detrimental to one possible line of defense his client might want to use at his Senate trial, but it seems more likely that
The Senate trial is the fix is in.
It's a kangaroo court.
Mitch McConnell literally went on a news show.
Well,
and
we got
said,
him right here.
Yeah, he was like, well, I don't know if this is that story, but I think it was last week at some point, he was on a news show, and he said, our position in the Senate it does not differ from Donald Trump's position.
Right. They said they're following Trump's marching orders, and that I think he said his ambition for this trial was to call no witnesses and to end it as quickly as possible.
Right.
Well,
So,
what he said was basically that why is it? Look, that's the House's job. We're supposed to have. If they want to call witnesses, that's not on us. That's on the House to make that case. All we have to do is hold the trial, and the trial will basically just be Trump is innocent.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I mean, a lot of trials include the calling of witnesses, though. I mean, as we understand them.
McConnell appears to break with the Constitution on Trump impeachment. I'm not an impartial juror. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell told reporters Tuesday he will not act as an impartial juror during the Senate impeachment trial of President Bush. I'm not an impartial juror. This is a political process. There's nothing judicial about it. Impeachment is a political decision. The House made a partisan political decision to impeach. I would anticipate that we will have a largely partisan outcome in the Senate. I'm not impartial about this at all.
Remember how impartial Mitch McConnell was when Obama nominated, Merrick Garland or whatever his name was, to the Supreme Court? Yeah, but that wasn't a political decision. That was just, hey, that's politics.
So the reason that this is apparently significant is because, according to the Constitution, lawmakers in the upper chamber must take an oath pledging to act as an impartial justice before engaging in an impeachment trial. So the Constitution explicitly says that he has to be impartial, and he's not even pretending to be. He's just like, nope, I'm not impartial. I'm partisan as fuck.
Look, I'm gonna tell you
and
something.
I'm gonna let you know it.
I've read some shit on Mitch McConnell, and he definitely knows that. It's not like this guy is blissfully unaware of that part of the Constitution. He's basically saying, fuck that part. I don't even give a shit. The trial is going to be held, but it's going to be to favor Trump.
Right.
So the fix is in. The Constitution doesn't matter. McConnell has spoken.
When did it fucking matter? This Salon article is a waste of fucking goddamn breath and a waste of fucking time. Because let me tell you something. We all knew this was coming. Do you think Mitch McConnell was going to go, you know what, let's railroad Trump. Let's just fucking destroy any chance of the Republicans holding the White House. Let's go ahead and just
I got to be honest with you. The fucking Democrats botched this. Because the only reason that Nixon was going to lose with his own party. Because what Nixon got caught gaffled up in was indefensible.
Yes.
It was literally him hiring thugs to break into a place.
With a slush fund.
Paying them with suitcases left on the top of fucking phone booths and shit. I mean, it was that bad. And I can guarantee you there's equivalent shit that Trump has done since he's been in office. But the fucking House chose to focus on this stupid fucking quid pro quo shit, which people, I gotta be honest with you, I don't know anybody that doesn't think that politicians exert influence over other fucking politicians in other countries.
All the time.
With promises of shit. It's not like robbing a bank. You know what I mean? It's not like hiring thugs and paying them with secret dollars. It's like literally something we expect politicians are doing.
Yeah, we didn't get him on. I mean, like, and there's so many things that, they could have.
Emoluments would have been the huge
emoluments one, because there would have been no argument.
Right.
There would have been no fucking argument.
I don't think emoluments on its own, though, in this climate is enough. I think it would have had to be, they'd have had to find out that he was somehow in collusion with some Russian asset, and I got to be honest with you.
Even then, they'd just be like, "What? So what? Putin's cool."
Right.
This is just about trying to sink Trump in 2020. That's all this is. That's all.
And
because the Democrats know that. Because look, they know they don't have the votes in the Senate. They knew that going into this. They waited for 2 years. They started the process, and now, when is the process coming to a conclusion? Right around election season.
Of course.
It's so obvious. It's such an obvious move. And people can debate it one way or the other, but what's really going to fucking vindicate Nancy Pelosi as a genius or not is if Trump is reelected or not. That's really what people. So people are saying Nancy Pelosi is brilliant. It's like, no, we'll know how brilliant that political maneuvering was if Trump is reelected or not.
Well, dude,
early polls seem to indicate it wasn't that brilliant.
I'm telling you,
Depends which one you look at.
The Democrats have seeded a big fucking argument in this to the right too. When the right says, like, a lot of these people wanted to impeach Trump on day one, dude, they did that shit to themselves because a lot of these dumbass Democratic talking heads either said or tacitly supported the idea that Trump should be impeached almost immediately upon him taking office. Even before, there were people talking about if he wins, we'll impeach.
And you know what was really smart too for the Republicans when Obama was in office, they would wave that around. But they just bided their time because you know what? Then they had someone like Trump come along. Oh, here's some populist candidate, and then they got the White House again because they could run on. Because if they just gotten rid of Obama and they had strong majorities, they think they had like 55 in the Senate. They had a way better chance of impeaching Obama, especially after the Obamacare shit. Remember that fucking the Tea Party and that fucking red wave that just soared in because people were like, no, they're going to socialize all medicine. We got to stop. We got to stop. They had a fucking case. They could have got Obama on something there. But, I mean, they just, what they realized was, like, let's just put Obama in endless scandals. His administration is scandal-plagued. And then by the time he was leaving office, and there was no other super popular Democrat to take his place, and it was easy to fucking knock off Hillary.
Donald Trump urges Americans to say a prayer on impeachment day.
Okay, fair enough, Grandpa Trump. Dear God.
All right, let's all pray.
Please save Grandpa Trump from the meanies. Please
let him have a lot of cake.
Let his job stop making these horrible decisions that are tearing him apart, Lord. And give him many cakes to eat and ribbons to cut. Can we make the president
many sumo tournaments to attend?
Yes, make it a ceremonial position, Lord, so that Grandpa Trump can have fun globe-trotting around and eating delicious chocolate cakes in every country.
He can judge some like livestock contests. Like this is what's the most beautiful pig, and you bring all the pigs out in front of Trump. That's a beautiful pig. You know what I mean?
Go to the fucking Future Farmers of America, national championships or whatever the fuck, and talk about wheat.
Paul, I honestly.
So here is what Trump said. He said, "Can you believe that I will be impeached today by the radical left, do-nothing Democrats, and I did nothing wrong?
Of course,
a terrible thing. Read the transcripts. This never should happen to another president again. Say a prayer."
Say a prayer.
How is this a news story? Report: Democrats have the votes to impeach President Trump. We already knew that. They have a majority. What are these fucking stories, dude? Are people that dumb they click on that story?
Because
what's the story say?
I mean, this is Breitbart, so I mean, yeah.
Yes.
The people reading this are really dumb.
But, like, most people don't even understand what impeach means. They think impeach means kicked out of fucking office, and so that's how they're getting people.
Yeah, it's not.
Impeach is just the first part of that process, but most people don't know that. They're just like, oh, he about to get thrown out. Oh shit! Ah!
As we covered in that episode, Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton were both impeached, but they were not neither of them was removed from office.
Right.
So what's Trump tweeting now? So his latest tweet is all caps: "Such atrocious lies by the radical left, do nothing Democrats. This is an assault on America and an assault on the Republican Party."
Wow.
5 exclamation points? Yeah.
116K likes.
Oh, yeah, it's super popular tweet.
68,000 responses.
You know what, TJ?
Everybody loves it.
TJ, I want you to admit something right now. You're fucking jealous, dude. Look.
Jealous.
Trump can write a tweet in all caps that makes really no sense. And he gets 29,000, 100 retweets and 170,000 likes. You guys telling me you wouldn't want to get those number of likes?
Oh, hell yeah.
Who doesn't want those number of likes? I'm just saying.
Plus, check this out. This is let's go look at the Donald and see how watch them sweat, Scotty.
Oh man,
watch them sweating.
Oh my God.
So here they are. Only Donald J. Trump would have a rally on the day he is impeached. Keck. This corrupt woman rigged the DNC primaries in favor of her political allies, all while employing a Pakistani to spy on Congress. Now she is lecturing Americans on their democratically elected president and voting to append and nullify the 2016 election results.
Oh, dude, I get it. So because Grandpa Trump writes in all caps, they do the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
cute. You know what Grandpa Trump would have done better than that last poster?
What?
Find a shorter and more succinct way to title that post, probably.
So this is mood.
All right.
Don't fuck with my motherfucking president.
Oh, we got to see this.
Now I'm just going to tell you motherfucking niggas straight out the dump. Don't fuck with my motherfucking president.
What?
Do you understand me? Nigga, we ride with Donald Trump over here, nigga. Draco, we ain't playing with you motherfucking niggas. You understand me? Keep my motherfucking president name out your mouth. Fuck, nigga. Any motherfucking nigga, white, black, Chinese, Mexican, if you want to build that wall, let them build it. You motherfucking niggas out there think it's a game. I'm going to go to war behind Donald Trump. That's right. Do you understand me? We're going to go to motherfucking war, Trump. You got some motherfucking soldiers, boy, right here on your side, boy.
Great
right
background
here,
music, too.
We coming. Draco. Talking about we going around. What that little nigga down there in Baton Rouge's name? Nigga, keep my motherfucking president out of your motherfucking mouth, nigga. Talking about you got 100 on the drum.
Damn, dude. That dude was fucking mad.
Holy shit.
That dude was not having it. He's like, you know what? I got a fucking gun, and I'm a fucking warrior for Trump, dude.
Okay. Don't even have to support Trump to see this guy has a point. It's Geraldo.
Oh,
They've gotten to the Geraldo level. Presidents have done horrible things. Trail of Tears, extermination of Native Americans, ignoring Holocaust, dropping 2D A-bombs, Bay of Pigs, Gulf of Tonkin, Iraq and Afghan war lies, killing tens of thousands of civilians and GIs, yet no impeachment. But now for a phone call, damn.
I mean, he kind of does have a point.
I mean,
that is kind of my point.
I mean, he does have a point. He does have a fucking point. That's like, look, this is all the other shit they could have got other people on, and now they're doing this thing that people are kind of going, isn't that what power brokers do? They assert their power over others. Like, that's the business world. That's the political world. Like, if you have power and you can't use it, or the threat of it, yeah, of course people are gonna do it. I mean, it's so naive to believe that would ever go away. That powerful person talking to less powerful person.
Sounds like the words of a man scared of losing a bet, Scotty.
Well, no, but
I see right through your bullshit.
But think about the Me Too movement. Here's something like that. What do they always say the problem with that those circumstances are, TJ? Is that one person has power, right, and the other person doesn't.
Dude, look at this picture. This picture is so fucking weird.
Stay a moment and pray for this man. He's done nothing but good for us, and they want to tear him down. The truth will prevail, and history won't forget the evil of the Democrats.
Dude, fucking religious people are so weird and creepy.
Look at them. They're all laying their hands on him and shit.
They're all squinting their eyes and touching this guy and thinking about their imaginary friend.
Dude, that chick looks like she's having an orgasm touching Trump. She's like,
she can feel the power of the Holy Spirit flowing into Trump.
I mean, everyone else, like, they just seem like, yeah, they're having a religious moment, but that chick's like, whoa, what's going on there?
My teachers are making us watch the impeachment. This is California public schools in 2019, socialist left.
You know what? You get out of having to do schoolwork.
Isn't that kind of like, whatever your position is, isn't that like kind of a historic thing, though? I mean, like, there's only been, 3 impeachments?
Yes.
Yeah, whenever some big thing happened in my fucking schools, they would have us watch some of the live coverage of it and shit.
Yeah, so what?
This is nothing
Yeah, this
new.
is not like, whatever.
It's probably happening elsewhere.
Joe Biden lives in the biggest mansion in his state and just bought another mansion in D.C. Bernie Sanders has 4 houses. Last I checked, he only had 3, but now they're saying 4. They keep upping the amount of houses
every 6
Bernie
months
has.
they add a house.
Obama just bought his 3rd mansion. All of this money was made from them lecturing you on income inequality. I mean, maybe in Bernie's case, Obama and Joe Biden really don't. They don't really. That's not really their talking point.
But
is she making the very leftist argument that we ought to take some of that fucking rich stuff from these rich people?
Yeah, I agree.
And redistribute it?
Let's do it. Can you believe that I will be impeached? Okay, this is Trump. This is a tweet. The Say a Prayer tweet. So the Donald, they don't really seem like they're panicking over there, I
mean, even if they were, though, they wouldn't be. You know what I mean? That's
right,
kind of
that's
the point.
true.
Anything that sounds panicky is getting removed.
TJ, how about this, dude? President Trump signs executive order giving federal employees Christmas Eve off.
That's nice of him.
That's a nice thing right there. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's a Grandpa Trump thing for sure.
I'll even upvote it. There you go. Good for you,
That's
President
good. Thanks, Trump.
Well, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire's so delightful thanks to Grandpa Trump.
See, that's the kind of stuff he should be doing. Here's Scott Adams, who is a Trump supporter, creator of Dilbert.
He is? Wow, I didn't know he was a Trump supporter.
Yeah, Trump will change what the word impeachment means to the country more than impeachment will change the Trump presidency. We are only days away from the word becoming meaningless.
I mean, I can't say I disagree.
Yeah.
Like, another right-wing talking point that I find myself kind of agreeing with is the idea that the Democrats fumbling the ball on this impeachment and picking something that isn't, I mean, maybe it is an impeachable offense, but it ain't the one that's going to cook this president. You know what I mean?
I mean, impeachment is such an antiquated concept.
It's just going to be, it's going to be a trade back and forth between the parties now. Of the, whenever the fucking opposing party holds the House, they're going to try this fucking impeachment shit. And nobody's going to care anymore. It's just going to become another piece of the background radiation of this country.
And that's why it just needs to be fucking eliminated. It doesn't really make any sense.
I don't even see anything else about impeachment here. Here we go. Speaker Pelosi wears black to the impeachment hearing to mourn the death of the Democrat Party.
All right. Fair enough, yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Nah, the Democrat Party is going to go right on being the Democrat Party.
It's dude, it's done.
Yeah, they've got too many suckers on the line.
They're
dude.
just as stupid as the people on the fucking left that are like, Trump is fucking going down,
His
man.
goose is cooked.
Dude,
It's
I
like,
love
no,
that.
it ain't.
I love all the bravado right now. Like, yeah, Trump is good. Trump, it's like, come on, guys.
I mean, there's
really?
a significant chunk of people that believe that Trump is going to be kicked out of office soon. They don't even.
He's not going to be.
They don't even understand.
I wouldn't be surprised if Trump is the president for 4 more years after this.
So
I don't even have a bet with TJ for that one.
4 more years, TJ. It's
4 more years.
TJ's going to end up paying me a lot of money, dude. He's going to pay me $1,000. Right now, he's all, oh,
It's
TJ.
starting to look bad, dude. Because
TJ,
Trump's not even going to debate.
So, TJ, I mean, you want to give me $1,000 now, man? You want to hedge your bet? Look, TJ, I'll take $900 right now as a kindness to you.
Nope.
Damn.
I'll take $900 as a kindness.
He's sticking it out.
Nope. Sticking it out to the end. You never know what's going to happen.
So now you're hoping for death now, right?
Yeah.
You're hoping that Trump's just gonna fucking have the heart attack. Oh.
Well, Paul was telling me earlier that Trump hasn't been seen golfing or anything since his little health scare that supposedly was nothing.
TJ, look, they got an army of Trump clones.
He's had way more limited public appearances since he went to Walter Reed. He hasn't golfed once.
Look, guys, they have doubles and clones and shit. Look, he's making it, TJ. He's making it through.
He ain't making it.
He's making it.
In fact, I contend, sir, that Trump is already dead and been replaced by a clone. So you actually owe me that money.
You have to prove it, dude.
You owe me that money.
But you know what? If it's a Trump clone, I still win.
Facebook fails to convince lawmakers it needs to track your location at all times.
You know what's fucked up? I read another story about this. You know what they actually do? So you know the notification, and it'll be like, "Do you want to share your location?" And you hit no, right? I don't want Facebook.
They're like, "Did you mean yes?"
Well, it's not even that. They just keep tracking you. They don't care. So like these privacy settings.
Good to know that you don't like that.
These privacy settings that they offer you, like there's a real choice. Sorry, it's an illusion. There is no choice. They're just going to track everything you do.
And by the way, yeah, this headline needs to end with a comma, but they will anyway.
Yeah, they will.
Facebook told 2 senators why it tracks users locations even when their tracking services are turned off. The lawmakers now say Facebook should give users more control over their data. Facebook was responding to an inquiry from Senator Josh Hawley and Senator Chris Coons, who asked Facebook last month to respect users' decision to keep their locations private.
Oh my God, what a joke!
They asked them to?
Ask them, real nice. In a letter dated December 12th that was released on Tuesday, Facebook explained how it is able to estimate users' locations used to target ads even when they've chosen to reject location tracking through their smartphone's operating system. Facebook said that even when location tracking is turned off, it can deduce users' general location from context clues like locations they tag in photos as well as their device's IP addresses. While this data is not as precise as Facebook would collect with location tracking enabled, the company said it uses the information for several purposes, including alerting users when their accounts have been accessed in an unusual place and clamping down on the spread of false information.
So it's ridiculous for anyone in the U.S. government.
And feeding them tons of ads from local businesses.
Well, of course, but it's ridiculous.
Localized ads.
Anyone in the U.S. government to even for 1 second pretend like this is something they actually give a shit about. Like they're working with Facebook to capture all of your information. So they have this hearing is a total fucking farce. There's no it's not necessary at all. They fucking.
That's why you don't see they were ordered or they're they asked them. They wrote them a strongly worded letter going, "Hey, would you please stop doing this so we can get this off our backs?" Thanks.
Because these are their fall guys. That's why they work with all these companies and these private businesses. It's great because then everyone attacks these businesses like, why are they participating? Why are they doing this? This company shouldn't do it, and the company doesn't give a shit because they have these huge contracts with the U.S. government.
So this is one of the politicians here, Josh Hawley. Facebook admits it. Turn off location services, and they'll still track your location to make money by sending you ads. There is no opting out, no control over your personal information. That's big tech, and that's why Congress needs to take action.
And they won't.
What action should we take, Josh?
Well, look, we
have an idea?
We've been well aware of what these companies do for years and years now. Facebook just recently paid a $5 billion fine. It's not like anyone's going, oh, I wonder what they could do with this stuff. Everyone already knows.
I am a robot. Beep, boop, beep, boop.
Yeah, this is just a fucking figurehead for what for what the U.S. government wants to do to you anyways, and what it already does to you. So for two senators to pretend like, oh, we have some moral high ground on Facebook here, that's just ridiculous. This is just for show. This is totally for show.
Deputy who slammed North Carolina middle school student to floor is fired, charged with assault.
How could they do that?
Take a look. Oh, they're going to play a stupid ad.
The seat.
Why wouldn't they?
Dead.
Let's let Jeep Gladiator, TJ.
Ooh, I should have got that one. Should have got the Jeep Gladiator.
Dude, the Jeep Gladiator is like a surfboard with purple neon on it.
TJ,
God.
it's too manly for you, TJ. Look at that.
Yeah, this car is too manly.
I mean, that thing's going up the side of a fucking
Holy
mountain.
fuck, it is.
Whoa!
People are fucking.
my God, it does everything.
People are jumping in dirt bikes, dude. People are surfing.
Gladiator!
Coming over personified.
They should have
right
had
there.
fucking Russell Crowe show up.
Tonight, it's the video capturing a stroll down a North Carolina school hallway ending in an
Damn.
alleged assault. A school
Alleged?
resource officer caught
Dude, he
body
shit slammed
slamming an
that kid.
11-year-old
What the
boy
fuck?
to the ground. Not once,
I mean,
but
look,
twice.
that could be a child or it could be a
system,
doll.
As an administrator,
Wait, what's alleged about that? That's not alleged. There's video of it happening. Let's see that again real quick.
They just say that media outlets have to say alleged just for.
Bullshit. I think in this
Purpose
case
of
you could
slander or
fucking get away with not saying alleged.
Stroll down a North Carolina school hallway
What even
ending in an
provoked it?
alleged assault. A school resource officer caught body slamming an 11-year-old boy to the ground. Not once, but twice.
as a school system, as an administrator,
Jesus.
as a district, we're disappointed. As a community, we're embarrassed.
The surveillance video not capturing audio, but giving the department enough evidence to fire the officer.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
The boy's grandfather says the impact of the body slam left the 11-year-old temporarily unconscious and stresses firing the officer isn't enough.
I'll ask him a simple question. Do you have children? Would you like me to grab your son and throw your son against the wall and slam your son head first on a hard concrete? He could have killed my grandson.
The incident, the latest in a string of assaults.
Lucky he didn't.
I mean, yeah, he could have.
I mean, yeah, the guy. It seems like the guy just snapped or something and just fucking took it out on this kid.
So, dude, I got to tell you, this is a result of the militarization of our public schools. In the wake of all the gun violence going on, there's been a higher police presence, and that, you know, it just brings with it an anxiety that ends in these types of fucking shows of force that are completely over the top. Completely and utterly over the top. Never in my wildest nightmares would I imagine somebody would assault a fucking kid like that at school. You know what I mean? Like, it just...
Especially the resource officer of the school. I mean, like, if the kid was being violent or something, that's one thing. They're literally walking through a hallway, and maybe the kid said something, or maybe he just had a bad day and didn't like the kid, or whatever the fuck it is, just decides to just slam this kid into the fucking ground.
what is the trade-off here? How much safer has it been shown that these kids are having these resource officers fucking roaming around?
At least in the case of this kid, it seems like he would have been safer if that was not the case. So a North Carolina school resource officer seen on video slamming a middle school student twice on the ground has been fired from the sheriff's department and charged with assault, officials said.
I mean, rightfully so.
Vance County Sheriff's Deputy Warren Durham faces charges of misdemeanor assault on a child under 12, misdemeanor child abuse, and willful failure to discharge duties related to his employment with the sheriff's office, the county prosecutor said Tuesday. Durham also lost his job after footage surfaced of him picking the 11-year-old up in the air and throwing the student face first onto the floor at Vance County Middle School, about 45 minutes north of downtown Raleigh. The deputy then picked the child up and slammed him on the ground a second time before roughly yanking the boy to his feet, which we saw that happen a minute ago. The incident happened Thursday, and the school reported it to the school district that day. In a statement Thursday, the sheriff's department said the deputy was placed on administrative leave and referred to the incident to the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation. On Monday, the department said the deputy was no longer an employee. Mike Waters, district attorney for Vance County, said Tuesday that a warrant has been issued for Durham's arrest. He said Durham was charged with misdemeanor rather than felonies because the boy did not suffer serious bodily injuries. But he easily could have.
Dude, it's bad when you're a cop, and because a lot of times like they can fight this shit. There's police unions and stuff. Yeah. When it's like you just leave and
when it's so cut and dry, though. I mean,
yeah, I mean, of course, like they're gonna be like, look, you slammed a kid into the ground, you're done.
As part of this investigation, we'll be seeking to make sure that Mr. Durham does not ever serve as a law enforcement officer here, Waters said. The boy's grandfather, a pastor, on Monday said, "What happened to my grandson was very bad." No shit.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty bad.
What a fucking disgrace, dude.
So, yeah, I don't know.
For a long time, I've been saying that they're starting to treat kids in public schools like prisoners. I have a little experience with both. I worked at public schools for a long time, and a whole slice of my family back where I'm from works in the prison system. So I kind of know how that works, too. And I'm telling you, I've been seeing the signs of this fucking prison-fying school. And people should be beyond
totally,
alarmed at it because it is literally destructive to the children that are growing up under it.
My dad, was in federal prison. I brought home from the school that I was attending at the time a like rule book, like a student handbook that had all the rules, and he looked over it and he's like, I had more freedom in prison.
Yeah.
There's more rules in this fucking school than there were in the prison I was at. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, he said it, so he had direct experience with being in the prison system, and he was like, yeah, they basically, it's basically prison. And this is just another example of that. I mean, how many fucking if we see this case, I always assume whenever I see a story like this that there's probably like 100 that I've never heard about that just flew under the radar.
That there's no camera.
There was no camera there to capture it.
Yeah, the resource officer was a little bit smarter and took the kid into a bathroom or something. You know what I mean? Took him behind the building.
Think about the ripple effect that this has, and I guarantee you is not mentioned in this fucking story. What's it going to take to earn back the trust of these kids? That one of these cops that's shuffling the halls isn't going to just body slam them to death into the fucking floor. And what's that going to do to their ability to learn and get an education when they know that out in the hallway lurks a man that might fucking dunk you for no reason?
And we've seen a number of these videos, over the past 6 months, and just it's like, I guess the question is, would you rather go to a school 10 years ago or today? And I mean, you'd probably say 10 years ago. Because increasingly, it's like schools are being shot up, schools are having problems with this. They're being underfunded. It's like there's just so many fucking problems with this, and it's just like it's almost at this point, like just almost like a sign of America is like, how fucked up is the system in which you're subjecting people to? How little sense does it make?
I was in school 30 years ago, and the idea of a fucking armed cop roaming around the campus of my school.
Seems ridiculous.
If there was a cop on campus, everybody was like, what the fuck? Why is there a cop here? You know what I mean? Like the closest to this that I had was my fucking high school had security dudes in yellow fucking polos that didn't have weapons or anything, that were just responsible for keeping an eye on people. There were no fucking police presence in my school.
Security engineer says Google fired her for trying to notify coworkers of right to organize.
Oh, what a shock.
I was doing nothing more than notifying my coworkers about Google's obligations under labor law, Catherine Spires, former Google engineer, said. Google has fired a security engineer who updated a company tool to notify coworkers of their right to organize, spurring a labor complaint and adding to recent scrutiny of how the company has handled unionization efforts. Catherine Spires, who worked as a security engineer, updated an internal Chrome browser extension so that each time Google employees visit the website of IRI Consultants, the Troy, Michigan firm that Google hired this year amid a groundswell of labor activism at the company, they would see a pop-up message that reads, Googlers have the right to participate in protected concerted activities. Spears was placed on administrative leave the following week of Thanksgiving. The same week, the company fired 4 other employees who claimed Google has been engaged in illegal efforts to discourage workers engaged in organizing employees.
So the answer is Google is dealing with this just like a fucking 1920 steel mill would.
Yes.
It's firing the people that are even having the balls to discuss the possibility of unionizing.
And
not even to do it, it's crazy. She just let people know they have a right to organize.
Right, even letting them know they have the right to do it is too much.
You violated the company policy here. Oh, you're not supposed to do this.
The thing about it is, I just find it so funny when I see right wingers that I follow on Twitter and stuff like that talking about Google like it's this leftist company. They're trying to brainwash us with their leftism and they're so leftist.
It's somehow a leftist company run like a fucking pre-industrial sweatshop.
So my question for them is, if this company's so leftist, why are they a bunch of union-busting cocksuckers?
Yep.
They are not leftist.
Fucking trucking, shipping owners and shit.
They are leftist when it comes to a few key social issues, but when it comes to any sort of economic justice front, they're fucking as right-wing as you could possibly goddamn be.
They belong to the only party that matters, the pro-money party. You know, fuck this other bullshit. What's gonna make Google more money? Paying their employees more or less? Less. So what is the company? What is the company's incentive to do, TJ? Do not fucking let them organize.
Of course not. No company wants their fucking employees organized because that's bad for the bottom line.
Well, not all.
Right?
There's companies that that work differently and but
Google ain't one of them.
That's usually from the foundation of the company.
Yeah,
the culture is set up like that.
Google's not that.
They're their typical top-down company.
So the firing comes at a time of heightened tension at Google as the company has been forced to reckon with employees' discontent. Earlier this month, the National Labor Relations Board, or NLRB, opened an investigation into Google's firing of the 4 workers last month and whether Google discouraged employees from organizing. Google workers have also organized internal petitions criticizing the company's plans to build a censored search engine in China. Wow, isn't that great? Don't you just love it?
Yep.
As well as its cloud contract with the Department of Defense to build artificial intelligence for drones. Last year, Google, man, what a liberal company, man.
Yep.
It sounds
the way that they fucking censor search results in China to help an authoritarian regime, and the way that they help build weapons for the Defense Department, the way that they crush unions, they just seem like some real fucking Bernie Sanders-esque motherfuckers over there. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, a culture change for Google. Like, I mean, as it's become a more mature company. Before it was like China wants us to censor these results, we'll leave China. Now it's like we really need to get back into China. Yeah, if we're gonna censor it, that's fine. Go ahead and censor whatever. You know, let the Chinese government determine what's on Google. I mean, come on.
That's why everything's a joke now. Like, honestly, like how is this not obvious on the face of it? The scam that's going on.
Oh, it's blatantly obvious.
These companies own our fucking government.
They own our asses.
They own our asses. They can find us wherever we are, and there's no way we can tell them to stop looking at us. It's over, and it's been over.
And all we can do is complain.
I mean, look how much money. I mean, like, you can probably pull this up. How much money has Google spent lobbying in the last fucking few years?
Oh, I'm sure it's fucking insane.
It's an insane amount. Or Facebook, or Apple, or any of these big tech companies. And why wouldn't you? If you're going to go send down a team of people to be like, here's our point of view, you would do it.
Let's see. Google, for the first time, outspent every other company in influence in Washington in 2017.
Wow, crazy! What a shock!
I don't know the exact numbers. Let's see. Here's Google. Here's the Google's Open Secrets page. Shut up. Go away. 2019. Want to guess?
$300 million. Oh,
I mean they're not spending that kind of fucking.
I don't even know.
I don't know. Yeah, I was
total
$25 million.
Total lobbying expenditures for 2019 is $9.6 million.
$9.6 million.
Right. But I mean, think about it. You're buying individuals with that.
Right. That's, you don't, because it doesn't
Money goes a long fucking way.
It doesn't cost that much to buy, a
$200,000 means a lot to a fucking new House representative. That runs his office for basically his term. You know,
you could buy yourself a few congressmen, a few senators with that.
You can buy more than a few.
You can buy plenty. You can buy enough to influence
$9 million split by $200,000 or less, even, because I'm sure you could get it for less. Look, the point is that you, I, and every other normal person on the planet can't cut a $50,000 check,
and that's one company,
right?
And so annual lobbying for Alphabet Inc. It's there's been years. This is 2019 has actually been a slow year for them. That's actually way down from previous years. Like in 2018, they were over 20 million.
Well, they're not going to buy influence when they don't need it.
Yeah, they're just
you know what I mean?
We're good.
It's like a marketplace. They're going to spend more some years because they need to fucking get some more fresh blood. But if they've got enough, if they're sitting pretty, which it sounds like they are.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to figure out who they're giving to specifically, not that it really matters. Here, we can take a look at some of this, though. Here's some of their lobbying interests here. You see there's previous years. They've come pretty close to putting $20 million into it a few times. They've gotten to $20 million or more. few times over the years. This 2019 has been a slow year for them.
Well, they probably haven't reported all the quarters yet, so
That's true.
it'll probably be at least 12, 13 million.
So let's see. Hired firms, lobbyists, issues, agencies, bills. I'm trying to figure out who. I'm really interested in who they're giving to.
It looks like they funnel a lot of money to a lot of different. They hire different lobbying firms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's what they do. So they hire a bunch.
You got 101 lobbyists. Pretty much enough.
What is number of revolvers? What does that mean? So they have 100. They employ 101 number.
Revolving
of
door, the common practice of government regulators, congressional staff, and even members of Congress taking new jobs with lobbying firms and private sector organizations that in many cases they use to oversee.
So out of the 101 lobbyists that they have, 85 of them have served in government in some capacities before and is peddling that influence.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So that's what this is about.
So issues, labor, antitrust in the workplace.
Crazy.
Way up there. Telecommunications, consumer product safety, all that shit. Here's what they've some of the departments they've lobbied. The White House, of course, Department of Homeland Security, pretty much everything.
Yep. Justice.
Here's bills they've championed: Voter Registration Modernization Act, Save the Internet Act, Child Tax Credit Equity for Puerto Rico Act, Timely Review of Infrastructure Act. I don't know the exact nature of any of these acts, so it doesn't really tell me much.
Probably just things that at somewhere in that bill have some benefit to Google.
Yeah, but we get the contract.
Or some kind of negative benefit to Google that they want to fucking make sure is stamped out, which is way more likely. If you look at a lot of these, the Save the Internet Act is probably not something that fucking Google wanted to go through.
Yeah. So they've got a lot of money going in there, so that's pretty much what they do. California groom killed by wedding crashers. 2 men suspected of killing the groom came uninvited to the wedding reception and were asked to leave, the family said.
Usually you crash a wedding to have fun, not to murder anyone. Fuck.
Well, sometimes murder is fun, Scotty. What do you got these guys' personal definition of fun? A California groom was murdered by 2 wedding crashers, according to police and the family. Joe Melgoza, 30, died Sunday morning, the day after his wedding, from blunt head trauma in Chino, California, about 30 miles east of Los Angeles.
Man, what happened to back in our day when wedding crashers just tried to fuck the fucking bridesmaids and shit? You know what I mean?
Apparently that's over with. Now it's all about the groom killing.
What happened to Vince Vaughn over there? You know what I mean? Scheming on some bridesmaid poon. Why do they got to bludgeon people at their fucking weddings?
I don't know, man. Okay, so they came to crash the wedding. They were kicked out. They came back with bats.
Right.
Velasquez said his brother was trying to protect his family from the uninvited men, whom police later identified as Ronnie Aristides Castaneda Ramirez, 28, and his brother Josue.
Yeah.
Daniel Castaneda Ramirez, 19. They came and they murdered my brother, Velasquez said. My brother did nothing wrong. They took him from us. Melgoza was found in the backyard of a nearby home and was taken to a nearby hospital where he died. Police said he has an 11-year-old daughter of whom he had sole custody. Chino police said they arrested the Ramirez brothers Sunday afternoon without incident. Police did not specify whether the brothers have been charged or what charges they may be facing. I would imagine murder.
Yeah.
My brother did not deserve to die like that, blah, 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 blah.
I will say that is a kick-ass wedding gift. Get it?
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
They really knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. I feel you, Paul.
You know what I mean?
You. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at some of the early reviews of the new Star Wars movie here. So this is a super thread on the R Movies subreddit.
Damn.
We see the Rotten Tomatoes for Star Wars Rise of Skywalker sitting at 55%, which is really dismal. Metacritic is sitting at 53 out of 100, which is equally dismal. In fact, a little more.
I mean, how many people have seen it at this point?
Like among tons of critics.
Critics have seen it, but I'm talking like
the public. I don't think
public. Public. It hasn't really been.
I think besides the premieres, no.
Maybe a few people got premiere tickets and stuff, but most of the public has not seen it yet. Okay, so we'll just read a few of these. So The Atlantic says, "The Rise of Skywalker is, for want of a better word, completely manic. It leaps from plot point to plot point, from location to location, with little regard for logic or mood. The script, credited to Abrams and Chris Terrio, tries to tie up every dangling thread from the Force Awakens, delving into the origins of the villainous First Order, Rey's mysterious background as an orphan on the planet Jakku, and even Poe's occupation before signing up for the Noble Resistance. The answer to a lot of these questions involves the ultra-villainous Emperor Palpatine, Ian McDiarmid, the cackling, robed wizard fascist behind the nefariousness of the first 6 films. I wish I could tell you every answer is satisfying, or that Abrams weaves the competing story interest of 9 very different movies into one grand narrative, but he doesn't even come close. As The Rise of Skywalker strives to explain just how the Emperor, who died with explosive finality in 1983's Return of the Jedi, is involved in this new saga, it neglects to do any work to ground its story in a more compelling and modern context. So that's from The Atlantic. Let's see. The Guardian has a short one. They like it. The good news is The Rise of Skywalker is the send-off the saga deserves. What's the bad news? The bad news is it's largely a send-off we expected. Of course, there is epic action to savor and surprises and spoilers to spill, but given the long build-up, some of the saga's big revelations and developments might be a little unsatisfying on reflection.
It's a little more gracious review. Still negative.
Yeah, still pretty negative, but
saying like, you know what? If you order a pizza from fucking Domino's, you better just expect that. So it's nothing that's gonna fucking really blow us out of the water. Even if you like it, it's just kind of be kind of a meh. It's kind of what I expected the series to wrap up with.
Let's see, Variety. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker might just brush the bad faith squabbling away. It's the 9th and final chapter of the saga that Lucas started. Though it's likely to be a record-shattering hit, I can't predict for sure if the fans will embrace it. The very notion that Star Wars fans are a definable demographic in any way is in a way outmoded. Sorry. What I can say is that The Rise of Skywalker is to me the most elegant, emotionally rounded, and gratifying Star Wars adventure since the glory days of Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh, Variety likes it.
Variety likes it.
Dude, I was talking to Stevie, who's a fucking super Star Wars fan. You know, played all the games, watched all the miniseries, you know, read all the books, all that bullshit. And I asked him, I said, Stevie, what do you like better, the prequels, or do you like basically the new trilogy? And he told me he likes the prequels better. I think if you're talking about the Star Wars, you know, what do you think is like kind of like the prototypical fucking Star Wars fan is probably not going to like this fucking movie.
I wasn't expecting to. I haven't liked either of the previous 2.
From what I understand about what I've read online, it doesn't seem like this movie is pleasing too many people in either camp. It doesn't really seem like the woke crowd likes it because they're mad that J.J. Abrams is retconning a lot of what was established in The Last Jedi, which they like and defend ardently. But the old school fans are not embracing it either. They're just kind of like, this is stupid, and they don't even want to like it anymore. The reality is that most of the Star Wars fans who hate this Disney trilogy don't want it to fucking be redeemed in the final act, so they're just kind of hoping for it to suck. And you know, if you approach the movie from that angle, even if there is something good about it, you're just gonna overlook it and be like, this fucking sucks.
All the Star Wars fans today are pretty much just disillusioned by what they've done. So it's like
I don't even think they're making these movies for those people anymore. Because think about who's universally probably gonna like this: kids.
Yeah,
it's a flippy, lightsabery, you know. And they get to fucking have fond memories of it going into the next generation so they can continue milking that teat. They don't care about people that are fans of the original series anymore. They're not making those movies. They're not making movies for those people anymore.
Right.
They're making movies for kids, for children. And
I just feel like they've really, but even like the stuff they tried to do, like it seems like they're pretty much going back, like they're going back. I mean, you gotta fucking think they are trying to please those people, though, because otherwise, why would they have rescinded all the stuff they did in TLJ that was so unpopular?
I don't think you can demonstrate that was like a conscious decision and not just a result of the constant kicking around that this script got.
I mean,
J.J. Abrams.
There's a lot of nodbacks. There's a lot of nodbacks, and
J.J. Abrams has pretty much explicitly said in an interview.
Well, they brought back Harrison Ford. They brought back Carrie Fisher.
He's trying to fucking rewrite shit.
He had to.
He said in the nicest possible way, like, I gotta fucking kind of retcon a lot of this TLJ shit.
Here's the problem, dude, is that Disney should have fucking secured J.J. Abrams to do all 3 of these films.
So that at least there was one unified vision.
Exactly.
Good, bad, or mediocre. He's the boss. He's the guy.
Bringing in another director was just a huge fucking fumble.
Well, the idea that all 3 of these were going to have different directors, and then having to call J.J. Abrams in at the 11th hour and have him do a total fucking rewrite.
But
of the
original trilogy all had different directors. But there was also a unified vision of what it should be.
Yeah,
that was like the overarching.
Well, you also had George
Lucas.
Yeah, you had George
vision.
Lucas. You had George Lucas. Whatever you think about him, there was a unified vision with him.
Right. This wasn't rewrite. Like, directors are different from fucking screenplay writers and shit.
Yeah.
So, but in a lot of these cases, that's what happened, as I understand it, is that J.J. Abrams wrote the first screenplay, and then the next director had control over that through
Ryan
his people.
Johnson,
Ryan
right.
Johnson. Yeah.
And then J.J. Abrams, again had his hands all over the script, so he's doing a dual role.
Yeah, exactly. And so let's take a look at a few more of these reviews. These are a little bit more clipped.
A harried and hectic affair.
It has 84 rotten reviews and 120 positive reviews. So here's some of the Real Views guy says, it's too bad that Star Wars Saga has saved the worst for last. In terms of pure narrative, it's satisfying. What it very rarely is inspired. A harried and hectic affair. Let's see what's a Peter Travers fucking I hate that guy, but whatever. Okay, the final episode isn't perfect. This already sounds like you're just trying to defend a turd. That's never a great way. You'll nitpick it forever with your friends, but that's the point. Star Wars isn't a movie, it's family. Is it Olive Garden? What the fuck is going on? All right, fuck Peter Travers. I'm not reading his review.
That's pretty garbage, dude.
The Rise of Skywalker unfortunately becomes the most forgettable nostalgia-pushing fodder. Ugh.
So they're almost saying the opposite of what you're saying, Paul.
Despite some clunky chunks of exposition, the action rockets along, powered both by its need to be more spectacular than ever before and the script's desire to tie up the saga's many loose ends. It's a rousing finish. At best, The Rise of Skywalker solidifies Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver as movie stars. At worst, it ends the narrative not with a bang, but a recycled image from a better movie. Ouch.
I mean, how is that? That's 4 out of 10. That should be a fucking
that should be a negative. That should be negative.
That should be a fucking splattered tomato right there.
That's not a positive review.
So
Disney paid for that to be a positive review.
What the fuck is this, dude? All the positive reviews.
See, this is a positive review too, and it's 2.5 out of 4.
Peter
Travers, barely positive.
Peter Travers' review wasn't really even positive. It was kind of like, well,
3.5 out of 5. That's not great. So a lot of these positives are kind of like, eh.
But I'm saying, even saying his review is positive is being generous. He's kind of saying, like, this is something you're going to fucking shit on, but it's Star Wars, so whatever.
Travers' review was basically just like, there were some good movies in the franchise, so just forgive these.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because we all love Star Wars, the old Star Wars, so we got to love these too. No.
It's not a movie. It's
wrong,
family. But at least big-titted Rey fan art is a thing, so.
Yeah. There's always that.
We got
Man,
that.
I gotta tell you, there's so little established about Rey.
You don't even like the big titty fan art.
I mean, I don't dislike the big tittied fan art, but I'm not gonna go looking for fan art of Rey. I'm sorry, I don't care.
You don't even care about her enough to jerk off.
Yeah, she's like a
sad but
sugarless
true.
marshmallow
Dude,
to me in my mind.
I think that version of Rey is more interesting to me than the fucking other one.
So that concludes the pleb section. If you guys want to see the rest, you're going to have to become patrons. So what did the patrons get that you don't get? Well, they get to see our reaction to the first images from the new Bill and Ted movie.
Excellent.
Oh, shit.
They get to see, what the fuck even is this? I don't know, some dude who was found dead in Tokyo for mysterious reasons. It must have been interesting because I pulled it. A man who had caricature of himself drawn steals artist money, leaves portrait behind. That's awesome. Burlington police chief resigns after anonymously trolling critic. New chief axed hours later for same thing.
Wow.
Okay.
A top Chinese university stripped freedom of thought from its charter. It's amazing it was ever even in there. Exorcist condemns children's book on summoning demons.
What?
Russia's top general warns World War III is coming in chilling prediction.
Yes!
Men are showing up to the wing, and women are pissed. What's the wing? You'll find out if you're a patron. Then we're going to look at the new Top Gun trailer for the new Top Gun movie Maverick.
Oh, shit.
And that's pretty much it. So all kinds of stuff coming in the patrons only section of this motherfucker, which starts now.